Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to And Unity for All. Last couple of my videos may have lacked in quality. I noticed that something else started running every time that I started recording a video, which was taking up processor power. So hopefully this one will be a bit smoother than maybe my last ones were. All right, so let's talk about the fact that there is a military draft coming. Some people aren't going to believe it. If you ask the government, they're going to deny it. But the evidence is all there. I don't claim to have any evidence that is not available to you. You can confirm it. You can deny it. If you deny one point, all the other points still hold, and they all point to the same thing. So let's take a look at the evidence. First of all, in 2016, June of 2016, Congress approved females for the draft. I'm a veteran, and this is the first time since the early 70s that I recall Congress discussing the draft at all. Congress doesn't discuss the draft in abstract. That was planning. Pure and simple, that was planning. I actually expected the draft to start before now. But they've been, I guess, distracted. Whatever. Trying to get to the right point where they can justify it. All right, second. Recently, Jim Mattis said that the military is planning on discharging over 230,000 enlisted people that cannot be deployed to combat zones. Now, if this was peacetime, or there was some other rationale, I would not necessarily disagree with the decision, but considering the fact that we keep expanding our military presence in area and troop numbers in more and more areas, no, this is, and we're ratcheting up tensions with North Korea and Russia, and no. This is, why would they get rid of nearly 250,000 enlisted people? Because they can be easily replaced. Now consider the fact that for several years now our government has been forcing veterans to pay back enlistment and re-enlistment bonuses that they had earned. A lot of the time what happens there is that these soldiers wind up disabled. So the military claims that they did not fulfill their enlistment commitment. So you wind up with disabled veterans being forced into bankruptcy and foreclosure, and often winding up homeless by having to repay bonuses that they earned. So, I don't disagree with it if they get dishonorable discharge for misconduct, but that's not what's happening here. These are people that actually fulfilled their commitment and often paid for it with their minds and their bodies, which will affect them for the rest of their lives. And they're being made to pay money back, which has a devastating effect, both financially and emotionally. Their country has stabbed them in the back. So The military has not been meeting enlistment quotas for years now. Starting in 2009, the Department of Defense started paying millions of dollars a year to the NFL to play the national anthem and put on patriotic displays during football games. The NFL didn't do that before. The national anthem has been a fixture in baseball for decades, but not in football. So you get these, young people hopped up on beer and violent sports and patriotic flag-waving displays, and you think you're going to get them lined up at the recruitment center, and then if somebody objects and takes a knee for what's happening to our own people in our own country, black people being shot, unarmed black people being shot down in the streets, then, they're not being patriotic. Wrong. Young people are not blind to all of this. And that's one of the things. Young people are connected to each other. That's why people keep on objecting to them and their cell phones. Those cell phones are their connection to each other. So they talk to each other. They're not blind to the fact that our country is not in any danger. There's no threat to the continental United States. They're going over there and fighting in foreign countries for the benefit of, military-industrial complex corporations and oil companies and drug companies, guarding poppy fields, stealing resources from other countries, killing, and they're not blind to the fact, the only people that are volunteering for the military now, whatever excuses they want to give you, it's bloodlust. They hide behind patriotism and claim they joined for the GI Bill. If you look at what the GI Bill really does for you, you're not even going to try and hide behind that. The GI Bill, when it was first implemented, was a good thing, but the form that it's in now, it doesn't offer anything worthwhile. So that's just an excuse. And then some of them wind up with PTSD because they actually come to the realization they're killing children. What did you think that you were really going to be doing? You're killing children in other countries. and they know this. So the only ones that don't know it are the ones that just don't want to know it. So maybe the PTSD is valid, maybe it's not. Maybe they just had violent tendencies. Yeah, in most cases I think they had violent tendencies to begin with, and they joined the military as a cover for their violent tendencies, and then they get out of the military and they're using PTSD as a cover for their violent tendencies. I'm not saying that's true of all of them, but I really do believe that that is true for many of them. So none of this is, you put all this together, failing enlistment quotas, throwing people out, making soldiers pay back bonuses, approving women for the draft, put all of it together. This just tells you that our soldiers can be replaced. And they don't have to pay bonuses. They don't have to stand by people that cannot be deployed. So, if you ask our elected officials if the draft is coming, they're going to tell you no. But when they do decide to reinstate the draft, what's really going to happen is some weekend or midnight secret meeting behind closed doors, and then a few days later the telegrams are in the mail, and after the telegrams are in the mail, then they'll announce it, and then they will close the borders so that no one that is eligible for the draft can leave the country. Lock down borders. It's coming. You can't deny it any longer. So, and we're ratcheting up tensions with Russia and North Korea, and don't leave out the statement from Mattis not long ago that the military approach has changed so that we're defending our way of life. To pass down our legacy to the next generation. And what does that mean? That means that our U.S. military, they're no longer even hiding it. They are going to use the military as a response to trade deficits and competition from other countries. We don't have any diplomacy. When was the last time you remember America hosting peace talks with any country? When was the last time that a U.S. president sat down with a leader of another country that we may have had potential conflict coming with, sat down and tried to reach a peaceful diplomatic solution? It's been decades. Trump hasn't done it. Trump's not going to do it. Obama didn't do it. So, honestly, the closest thing that we've had to peace talks with anyone was under George Bush in his first so-called election, or when he stole the presidency. I've been expecting the draft to be enacted for many years, but the evidence is piled up, and it's coming. And it's not far off. That last announcement about, discharging over 200,000 people by Mattis, that was the final straw. It's coming. It is coming. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, share this video. Discuss this issue. If you see me on Steemit, upvote, please. And if you can, become a patron on Patreon. Even if you don't share this video or this article, talk about it. That's my goal. I want people talking about it, objecting to it. Write your elected officials and tell them no draft. Don't do it. We keep on using up. The only way that they can keep expanding the military-industrial complex is if we keep using more weapons. And to keep using more weapons, we need more enlisted people. that will keep using up all those weapons, and then we use them up and throw them away. No more. Stop. It ends. But it only ends when we speak up. So, have a good day. Talk to you later.